Been a while. Well, at least I do not have the problem of getting confused between Farm Sim 17 and Farm Sim 19 controls anymore. Since 17 has been discontinued, or the 17 stream has been discontinued. Well, it's good to say this tractor does not have any problem with this piece of machinery, but as I said, I'm mothballing the Law Folds playthrough. There is the possibility I might come back to it as a retrospective look back at Farm Sim in future years, but it's not going to be a major stream. And at the moment, I want to get this one up and running, because obviously at the moment we are just starting out, and I'd like to get a little bit more established. Hopefully that's good enough. Tractors this size tend to work better with 12-meter equipment because of the turn radius of the tractor. But unless you're using GPS, and I have that loaded, I just need to learn how to use it. It's very difficult to precisely line up your passes up and down the field. I am really not seeing any entrances to this field. Try not to hit the tree, try not to hit the shrubs. Yay. That's a little bit closer than I wanted it to the previous row. Yeah, it'll all come out in the wash. But at least this will give us a little bit of income on our first day on the farm. Once the Axion's finished, I'll transfer that up to the field just to the north of where it is and have it plough the second arable field. I may... thoughts of what to do. I may examine the grass field that we have. If it's not a proper field, we can't fertilize it. I may plough that up and replant it as grass so that we get more yield from it. And it's good to do that in the first year, because if I have to plough that field now, it's not going to grass until late summer, early fall, so we'll only really get one decent cut from it. At the moment there's no grass on it because it's early spring, cold, and all the grass dies during the winter. I know the sheep pasture, or the default sheep pasture and cow pastures, do not have field grass. They have map grass, so you can't fertilize them. Well, I'm not sure you'd want to fertilize them with animals wandering, at least not artificially fertilize them with animals wandering around. Obviously having the cows wandering around the field, theoretically it should get fertilised naturally. And maybe that'll be a thing in Farm Sim 19. Although, no, cows and sheep grazing the grass they live on is a seasons thing. So not part of the main game. But hopefully they'll include that in 21. Wow, this field has weeds already. I haven't checked the weed coverage on these fields yet. But, probably need to worry about that a bit later too. So for the most part here, I'm trying to keep the lines relatively straight, and I think I'm achieving that. So the previous crop in this field was a row crop. It's a lot harder when you don't have the nice rows to follow. That's way too close. Annoying. So I still haven't found an entrance to this field. Oh, field 19's next door. That's interesting. I'm drifting. So the road is the bottom of the map. Looks like there's a farm track on the other side of the hedge there. There is. That leads down to field 19 and around. Interesting. Okay, I think we'll do a row filler as best we can. So I bought a regular cultivator. It's kind of small, because I have not achieved much in the way of cultivating achievements. You have to cultivate your own fields, you have to cultivate in a single player game, and you have to use an actual cultivator, not a disc harrow or power harrow or anything like that. Subsoilers don't count. Ploughing is not an achievement, and obviously seeding is, but I think I'm pretty well on most of the seeding achievements at the moment. and obviously fertilizing achievements, because there's just so many ways to fertilize. Because I generally play seasons, you can fertilize up to 3 times in a year. So because of the way this end of the field is all triangle and such, it's definitely a farm tray. Oh, it looks like there's an entrance at the top end of this field. So I think from this point I'm going to run down the field, do this edge, and then we'll work our way back up. Cover a bit more of this bottom section. Not supposed to do the headlands until you're done, but it's farm sim, you can, so I'm not too worried about that. Vehicle inspector information is not showing much in the way of what the Axion is doing. It's travelling at 7 miles an hour. That was something I got used to with Glance on Farm Sim 17, is it told you which tractor you were operating, how fast the tractor was going, how much seed or fertilizer or whatever you had capacity for, and a bunch of other stuff, which was useful to know, so you could see when a harvester was almost full. Hilo Radio, thank you for the follow, welcome to the stream. And the like. So, you know, vehicle inspector seems to be a little bit understated on the information it provides. But it's helpful nonetheless. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. It's actually the first time I've used it with helpers, because so many of my Farm Sim 19 farms have been small farms, one tractor, that I haven't had much use of running with a helper. This one we have money to start with. I don't want to burn through it. Which loads on a real GPS. Oh, what? Monitor inside the cab or something? That'd be good. Let's see how we're doing here. Nice. We'll just drive through the hedge, because why not? Not while I'm streaming. I don't do a lot of in-game radio for Farm Sim. I will listen to in-game radio when I'm playing ETS or ATS. In fact, I usually listen to, is it Truckers FM, which is quite funny, because they're giving out traffic reports for multiplayer, what's it, Truckers MP servers, and yeah, effectively real traffic reports. There's a bunch of players here and you kind of want to avoid this town if at all possible, because you're not going to go anywhere. But yeah, no, while I'm streaming, you know, you want to avoid copyright strikes and the like, because I will throw all of this onto YouTube when it's done. Tend to make the videos live 24 hours after streaming, thereabouts. So this video will go live at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. I don't have my own personal Discord. I really should think about getting one. At the moment I tend to use Arthur's Discord, although that was more because when I'm playing multiplayer, I was either Truck Sim with Arthur or World of Warships with Arthur or Arthur's multiplayer farm. But Arthur's not playing World of Warships much anymore, if at all. And my nighttime schedules are a little bit tight because of our imminent house move. So most of the streams I'm doing at the moment are as and when I'm able to fit them in. So I explained earlier, Saturday morning is a standard because Mrs. Osa takes an early morning lie-in. So we generally don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere today because there's snow everywhere. But she gets a lie-in. I'm an early bird, so I get up and I can stream for a couple of hours. And then Monday night I try to get a stream in, although last week we were looking at houses, or a house, which we have an offer on, which we have, I guess we're under contract on now. Since we made the offer, we've done the inspection, we haven't found anything unexpected in the inspection, and so we're just waiting for the contract on our house to mature, whatever you call it. And at that point we will be exchanging homes and we will be moving to a new home sometime in February. But yeah, things have been a little hectic lately. I really wasn't that good at driving straight lines on this, was I? I think those little half-meter gaps to the right-hand side of that strip are not going to adversely affect my completion percentage. At the moment we are waiting to hear on the adoption. We had effectively an interview with the adoption worker a week and a half or so ago, and there was no problems, but she has 2 prospective families to consider. And I believe they're supposed to be having, social services team meeting sometime this coming week, maybe the week after. I mean, they didn't tell us when they're going to discuss their options, and we will hear sometime after that, but who knows when. So it's all kind of, we've done what we need to do, we now have to wait. But they also said they're not in any hurry to make the placement, so the whole adoption process could be I don't know, I don't. Yeah, well, obviously not having gone through it before, I can't say whether it's a long thing or a short thing or what. But there's probably going to be a fair amount of time between meeting the child for the first time and final adoption process. And I believe after final adoption, you've still got about 6 months probation before everything's signed off and it becomes permanent. Oh, we did the inspection yesterday. And it's kind of all minor stuff. The roof's 20 years old, but still in relatively good condition. So that's a case of, yeah, sometime, someday, the roof is going to need to be replaced. The furnace is 20 years old. So sometime, maybe soon, the furnace may crap out on us and we'll need to get a new one. The air conditioning is 20 years old and looks it, and is probably going to need to be replaced sooner rather than later. There's no railings on the steps up to the front door, and there should be at least one. It's not, the step in front of the front door isn't high enough that it requires railings around the there we go, Spitfires, yay, the Britain flight. It requires railings around it, so all we need is a handrail up the steps at the front. What else was there? One of the windows in the basement is too close to the grade, so we may have to do some minor excavation to give it a little bit of clearance. And also the gutter downspouts on the south side of the house are they empty onto the driveway, which means if we went there today, the driveway would be a skating rink at a fairly fair incline. So the inspector sort of said you might want to consider running drainage under the driveway so that the downspouts from the guttering runs under the driveway and empties onto the grass alongside the driveway. The driveway is also higher than the grass on that side, so there would be less chance of water runoff than freezing all over the driveway. Oh, that's a good point. Yes, social services. Well, I think our adoption agent does the inspection, but yes, they will need to inspect the home as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. But I think that's fairly straightforward, because obviously we won't be adopting immediately. The inspection will need to be carried out, obviously, before overnight stays happen. But yeah, we're going from a home with 3 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. A completely unfinished basement. So concrete walls, concrete floors, and windows. And we do have some plans for that, but the plans we have, it's not imperative that we do them right now this minute. We can take our time over that. The main house, I believe we're looking at taking all the carpets out and replacing them with wood floors, and that needs to be done fairly quickly because I'm allergic to animals. Previous owner had animals, and I will be far more comfortable if I'm not breathing all the pet dander that's embedded in the carpets. Even with a good clean, that can cause me problems. So and that will be a thing when we move in. Kitchen's in good condition. The cost of the house is a lot lower than the one we're selling, so we have built up equity that we can use for renovations. And we've booked Comcast to come and connect us up on the first weekend, so no stream the weekend we move in, because we won't have internet until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe later. Because then I have to get all the electronic equipment out and connect it all up and stuff. But yeah, we will be informing the social services that we are moving, obviously, but there's no pre-move-in inspection. They will have to inspect once we're in. Ooh, what's going on? Something. Very small writing. I need some bigger monitors. Or I need to sit closer to them, because messages pop up and I can't read them. It's the problem with old age. So, good little yellow tractor. I still haven't seen a message pop up. Let's put hello cruise control, go. I saw another nice thing about Farm Sim 19 is tractors go even when you're not looking at them. If you're driving along and request a menu in 17, everything grinds to a halt. So okay, so the entrance to the field is here. And so possibly opposite Empire Stores is the way onto the road. I guess we'll find out when we're done. I should probably disengage cruise control. Oh, I'm not doing that very well. Oh, it looks like the Axion's done. So I guess we're going to have some ploughing to go and tidy up. It's looking at the moment. I need a number of field tractors, so obviously this Challenger is one of them. The Axion by CMT Software is the second. I will probably get a Zerion because we will be rolling silage, and that is a good tractor for silage bunker work and mowing, because you can reverse the cab. Although I may get Chrome Big M for mowing. We had 3 tractors in Lawfolds for field work, so that kind of worked out okay for us. There we go, we're done. So collect, we get paid. Yay, we made money. Woohoo! So ploughing, transporting and transporting. So let's go check out